Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Rox coming to you today with the fourth installment of Black Girls on Television. I hadn't thought this whole Black Girls on Television thing out too far. But in a minute, it ain't gonna be no Black Girls on Television because in a minute, all the shows are gonna be off. How to Get Away with Murder is off. Scandal will be off next week, I believe, is the last one. Empire's only got a couple of episodes left, and Being Mary Jane, y'all, that show. Oh, I'll talk about that. But like I was saying, these shows are gonna be off, so this is probably going to be a little series that's gonna be put on hold until all the shows come back in September. But we'll figure out something else in its place. But yeah, I was just like, oh, this ain't gonna last too long. But anyway, you guys, we ain't doing reviews today because I don't have my notes with me. I'm just going off of memory, which you guys know that ain't even the best. But we gonna make it do what it do, right? Okay, so let's get to it. Okay, you guys, so this is Being Mary Jane, Season 2, Episode 5 that we're about to review. You guys, this show... Oh, I was such a fan. I don't want to be jumping ship just yet, but it's something. Something needs to happen on this show. I know she's going through the kind of little bit of a depression and all of that, but I don't want the show to be depressing. Like, I watched that episode and I was bored. I was kind of like, oh, she's a little whiny. You guys know, my patience for certain things is not real long. Like, I understand the whole depressed thing. I really, really do, because I can have my moments for sure, but I don't know. I don't even know how to put it in words that I'm getting bored with the show. The writing is still good. The acting is still good, but it's just, what is it, y'all? I'm sure y'all know what it is. Y'all help me out. Let me know what the problem is. But anyway, the episode this week was more about her depression. We find out that that treatment where she was freezing her eggs did not work, and she had to find out on national television that she, had limited amount of eggs. She's embarrassed, she's upset, her family is upset with her, well, mostly her mother, for going on TV and, kind of letting the whole world know that you might be not able to get pregnant. And, I feel like almost I'm not being sympathetic to her issues of trying to get pregnant or anything, but that's not really it. Even that could have been more exciting to me. She was embarrassed. She was upset with the Latina chick. What is her name? Well, I hate that I don't remember anybody's names. I'm sorry, you guys. Also, they were talking about Niecy and Niecy's baby daddy, who's, showed up back on the scene last week, and he's trying to come back into his child's life. Of course, he's been gone all this time, so his kid doesn't know him. On top of that, Niecy still has baggage with him. She's upset with him, so she is very difficult with him as well. The granny, y'all know Suge. Suge is telling her, that's not her name on the show, I don't know her name either, but Suge is letting her know that, once you become a mama, the shit ain't about you no more. It's about the kids. Now, you got these problems with him. Ain't nobody told you to lay down with the nigga and get pregnant when you knew he was full of shit. Now, you guys got a kid. Now it's time to make, lemonade out of lemons and let him be a part of this child's life. It's not about you. So that was a cool enough conversation, because I don't know. I think a lot of young girls who get pregnant with these guys and have problems with them, a lot of the problems is indeed between the two adults. It didn't really have much to do with the kids, but of course the kids are the ones who come out on the shorter end of the stick because they got to deal with both of their parents' bullshit, and they ain't chose to be here, and they just want two parents that's gonna help take care of them. So that was a cool enough conversation. What did you guys think about the conversation that the dad had with Mary Jane when he was telling her, like, you have set up in your mind a perfect life, a perfect man, perfect job, perfect everything, and life doesn't work out that way. So if this is the man that you want, talking about David, that's funny that I remember his name, I don't know why. He was like, if you want to be with David, then you need to go get your man. What did you guys think about that conversation? Knowing that the guy David is involved with this woman who's pregnant, I don't know. When I heard that, I was just like, well, yeah, that is definitely, yeah, you can't, think that you're going to get this perfect man, because, honey, I'm going to promise you, they don't make them. But you know, are you telling her to go and break up another relationship to get what you want? Like, I don't know. I mean, you know, maybe I would have accepted that conversation a little bit better if it had come from a girlfriend. But like my dad, I'm always want my dad to tell me what's right. And it was right, but it was laced with a little bit of wrongness, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Maybe I got that conversation. And then as far as the brother, I don't even know what's going on with the brother. The brother that's trying to get the money invested for what? Y'all, I was so lost. I was just like, why is it that I'm not grasping what was going on the show? But I didn't have the energy to try to watch it again. I was just like, y'all just let me know what's going on with the show. But the show is still not bad. But I just feel like, gosh, it could be so much better. Last season, I know, was a lot of scandal, you know, the married man and the men things, and I don't know. I mean, I feel bad saying I wish that, you know, she was fucking around with a married man here, but I need something. So that's all. But we're going to stick with being Mary Jane. But if her episodes continue on after all these other shows go off, I think I'm going to put being Mary Jane probably in top of the blogs. I'm not going to give her own video because right now it just doesn't deserve it. But that's it with being Mary Jane. What y'all think about the show? Am I the only one feeling this way? All right. And then Empire. This is season 1, episode 9. It's coming to a close, and you guys can tell everything is starting to get, you know, it's starting to get at this feverish pitch. It starts off where it left off last week with, you know, we find out that Anika had gotten in touch with Beretti and whatever it is that she did over there with Beretti. Now, I know they made Anika the antagonist of the show, and, you know, the way that she's been, we're supposed to really not like her because we love Cookie so much. And I do love Cookie so much, but you guys, I feel sorry for Anika. I just feel like exactly what she said, you know, once, you know, Cookie busted her out that she wouldn't talk to Beretti or whatever, and when she was walking out, and she was just telling Lucius, like, I'm not this evil person. You've turned me into being that, but that's not what I was. And when I really sat and thought about it, I was just like, yeah, I mean, she was kind of stuffy a little bit, but how would you feel if your man and you've been fine all this time, and then all of a sudden one of his exes shows up on the scene and just kind of completely fucks it up for you? And I think we haven't been real fair with Anika. Yeah, she's done some dirty shit, but she's been kind of driven there. And if you really think about it, Cookie is kind of, you know, she ain't kind of wrong. She's wrong. She knew he was involved with somebody. We all want this whole go back and get your man thing, but truth of the matter is, this is somebody else's man. He's not yours anymore. You've been gone all this time. You decided to take the rap for whatever. You come back and you've kind of thrown everything into some chaos. Now, I know Cookie's always got Lucius in her best interest. She wants best for him, what's best for him, but, you know, I'm just saying she's kind of wrong a little bit. But getting back to the show, now that, you know, they know that Anika has gone over to Beretti, okay, now it's like war, because, like, what does she do? Is she taking artists with her over there? You know, so they're all on the warpath of really trying to maintain and contain the people that they have, even pick up some new people. And, you know, oh, the battery's about to die. Y'all, that's why it's in slow motion. Hold on, let me get the battery, let me plug it up. So, you know, the whole show is basically them trying to make sure that they have their people in place and all of that. So, of course, it's Beretti on the other side, really trying to get some good information on Lucius, you know, something that will definitely take the company over. And Anika is still sort of loyal to Lucius, not wanting it to be about that, just wanting it to be about the music, for her to be able to do her job, which to me is naive. She already knows the drama between these two. I'm just like, girl, you couldn't go to another? I mean, damn. It ain't no other music label around that you could have went and worked for? I mean, you know, to go for the direct enemy, you should know that you about to pull you know, get yourself dragged into some shit. So, that was that. And then, gotta talk about Big Crazy. I feel bad for calling him Big Crazy, but he is. He big and he crazy, y'all. He done threw out his medication. When all of this starts to go down, well, you can see the fuse, you know, burning shorter and shorter and shorter, okay? He is about to lose it. He does such a good job in this. You know, this show, I really, really hope that the Emmys will recognize this show. Let's hope so. Maybe because Lee Butler is involved, and, you know, he does seem to have some kind of rapport with these different Academy boards and I mean, you know, the different boards that they have that vote on these things, but I really hope that they recognize what a good job that guy does. He's a good actor. He plays a good, well, I should say mentally. I can't call him big mentally ill though, y'all. I'm sorry, I'm gonna stick with big crazy, but he does a great job in the show. I mean, every time something would go on and I could feel myself being like, oh my God, like what is fixing to happen here? You know, when he was on the elevators with his brothers, I even got a little bit of a tear. Like I was just like, oh my God. I mean, this is somebody who is struggling with his mental problems, someone who feels lesser than, even though he doesn't realize he's very accomplished. And you know, his brothers, like, oh, the whole thing, I was just like, oh, big crazy, he might give you a hug. I didn't give him a hug, y'all. And I thought it was cool that Jamal and the brother was able to calm him down. You know, it was like this one little time when they were in this small space, when it was just the three of them, and that they were able to connect. It was short lasted, but it just kind of lets you know that he been, you know, maybe Big Crazy and got kind of lost in the sauce with everything else that was going on, even though he's done so much for the company and for his dad and everything. So I was just like, oh, you know. But at the end, when, you know, he was in that room, I was like, oh my God, he gonna fall through that damn glass wall, window, whatever you want to call it, because he was just like, I said, he went and grabbed the damn rack with the basketballs. First of all, why is it basketballs in the room? Somebody tell me that, okay? But when he went and grabbed the basketballs and was falling out, and I was just like, oh. Lucius was like, oh shit. Like, I didn't know that it was exactly this bad. Like, wow, he is losing it. And of course, you know, it's going to be drama continue because the wife signed for him to be on this mental hold, and you could tell Lucius was not really happy about that. I don't know what else he wanted the girl to do. I mean, can't nobody contain. I mean, you see, it took 5-6 men to try to get his ass, you know, sedated and up on that thing. So I don't know, but I think he does a great job, and I really hope that they get some real legitimate nominations. Not saying that NAACP awards is not, and you know, BT. I know we've talked about this subject so many times, but damn it, I want them to get an Emmy. And that's it. The show is still real good. You know, just Cookie, when she went over to, you know, the ghetto ass studio and got drunk with old boy. I was like, girl, you better play a drunk person, honey. I knew all of the emotions that she had been through. When she tried to put that damn cup on the desk, and she was just like, yeah, bitch, got it. Okay, fell on that piano. Was like, I'm all right. Like, bitch, I can still make it out of here. I was like, girl. I cracked up when she, you know, she got her eye on that security guard, or not the security for, you know, the company. And when she was trying to get in that truck, when he was trying to put her in that truck, she was just like, take this. I was cracking up. Take this cookie. That damn cookie is a fucking mess. But yeah, still enjoying the show. Very sad that it's about to come to an end. That's it. What you guys thinking about this episode? What did I miss? Whatever I did, leave it below. And then lastly, you guys, Scandal. So Scandal yesterday took like a break from its normal dramatics that's going on. I mean, yeah, they're still trying to figure out who's going to be the vice president, and I don't even talk about that. The story that it grabbed everybody's attention was almost like a redo of the Mike Brown shoot down incident in Ferguson. I almost felt like I was watching an episode of like Law and Order or something. You know how they always redo different cases that are popular in the news at the time? You know, I guess Shonda felt that she wanted to really redo it. And of course it was not the most realistic, but it still gave us some good insight to both sides of the story, don't you think? So Olivia is trying to negotiate with a father who believes that his son was unrightfully shot down in the middle of a street somewhere. The twist on this is that the father has decided to kind of have a standoff with the police department and has sat his lawn chair right over his son with a shotgun and is not going to move until he, you know, knows for sure that the person who's responsible for shooting his son is behind bars. So it goes through all of these motions. You get a good idea of how upset the neighborhood people are. There's one person in particular who is kind of like the rebel rouser and gets everybody upset. He doesn't necessarily want a peaceful ending to this because he's tired of the shit that goes on, how people are treated unfairly, and things like that. So this is the one side that we have. And then on the other side, we have police officers who are working in neighborhoods that they are not trusted in. There's no rapport between the police department and the community. No good rapport anyway. Just the whole culture of the police department, the negativity of the culture of the police department when it comes to black, urban, not necessarily the most affluent or even middle class neighborhood. So I thought it was a cool episode. It was sort of fantastic in the fact that it was, you know, it was solved so immediately. I mean, I don't know how long we were sitting out there with the dead son, you know, underneath them. To make a long story short, we find out that the police is, you know, that they did plant a weapon on this boy and he was reaching for something other than a weapon, and the police didn't know that. But, you know, what I did find interesting was the speech that the guilty police officer said. It's weird because you listen to this speech, and if you are even the smallest bit real and true with yourself, you would both agree and disagree with what he said. The things that he said was true. He's working in the community. These people don't respect him. They're raised to not trust the police. It was all these different things that he said, which I was just like, yeah, I mean, it's true. But then you also have to remember that these people have been underneath the thumb of cops that might not necessarily have their best interests at heart. Cops that use their power unrightfully so, even if it's just something as small as degrading a person, you know, talking down to them, and not as a man or as a grown woman, or, you know, things like that. Those kind of things takes tolls. Like, I was listening to what the police was saying, and I was like, damn, a lot of that is true. But then you know, you can also realize that there's an answer for the reason all these things happen. So it was just like, well, shit, like, how do we fix this problem? If the culture, especially now with what's going on in the world today, it doesn't breed a new generation of trust between the communities and the police department. So I was just watching. I thought the show was really, really good. I thought it was different. It was a welcome break. Kind of gave me the feel of the old Scandals, when we just had scandals, you know, and it wasn't all about, you know, Olivia getting taken off to Timbuktu some fucking where and being bought for $2 and $3 billion. You know, I'm just like, okay, shit. Enough of this, okay? So, like I said, it was a welcome change. But what did you guys think about the episode? I don't even know if any of that made sense. When I don't have my notes and stuff with me, I just kind of got to go off my memory. I was cracking up at how she was always holding on to that big-ass purse. She was like, God damn it, every time she walked, she had that purse. I don't care if it was out when she was talking to the man over the dead boy, if she was talking to Attorney General, if she was walking down the hallway with the daddy. I was just like, girl, if you don't put this fucking purse down too funny. But yeah, you guys let me know what you thought about Scandal as well. Is next week the finale? Y'all let me know, because I'm so confused on what's going on with Scandal now that How to Get Away with Murder. I just feel like my whole Thursday night is thrown off. Alright, you guys, so that is it. Let me get off of here. Gotta go pay my cell phone bill, get me something to eat, and get back to work. Make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'm itsrox. The channel is itsrox. This is kind of my old to Anika. I kind of have a little bit of the old Anika look. I know she's a little bit lighter than me, but anyway, the channel is itsrox. I'm itsrox, and everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. All right, so I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Until next time, Roxstars. Bye.